We're back.
Number 8. Beautytainment. In case you haven't heard, Tyra went to Harvard. She's not just a model, she's a businesswoman. And so in Cycle 21, she unveiled her latest golden egg, Beautytainment. Yes indeedy, she saw how successful Avon was doing in 2014 with their sales at a 5-year low and thought she should get in on the action with her own makeup line. I see your beauty. For just a small fee, you too could sell Tyra's products, rack up them bank signs, and reap the rewards of recruiting your friends to recruit their friends to recruit their friends, and try and sell makeup to all of your friends who are now also trying to sell makeup. You know, like a pyramid scheme. Sorry, I mean beautytainment. Because it's totally different, silly Billy. Put on your hater blocker and listen to this.
So what do you think beautytainment is?
Beauty entertainment.
Oh, there you go, Keith.
You get a gold star, Keith. When you become a beautytainer, you offer not just quality products, but a cosmetics experience.
It is a cosmetics experience.
Listen to Tyra strain to not sound corporate as she tells the models ANTM has always been leading to beautytainment with all of their crazy antics.
We've taken the entire beauty industry and made it fun and exciting with all of our crazy top model antics.
Let's go.
Crazy. Haha, we're self-aware, please believe us. As part of the Cycle 21 finale, the models must shoot commercials for Tyra's fantastically named products such as Sculpt in a Stick, Lip Model, Oops Liner, and Smack My Fat Lash. And naturally, they're going to shoot it in a Korean food court. It does not go unnoticed that, hilariously, of the 4 remaining contestants, 3 of them are men, who are not traditionally used to sell makeup, so Tyra brings in the eliminated contestants to shove our finalists into the background and sell us some beautytainment. And also former contestant Allison Harvard for some reason, mostly I think because she has Harvard in her name. Like this very video, this commercial is Allison approved. This is amusing and all, but my favorite beautytainment moment was the sequel, because Tyra's makeup line has a theme song. Jump to the next cycle, and not only is Tyra still repping her brand, she is having the contestants perform in a music video set to the theme for the Tyra line, Bootyful. It's a big ol' recruitment ad, and boy is it divine. Maybe I wasn't giving Tyra enough credit before, because it truly is an experience. I feel like we're watching 10 different music videos all in one. Firstly, there's Tyra selling us on the idea that pretty and perfect all the time is fine and all, but what about the rest of us? And she eats a carrot. Then we're like, lip stick it, get it good. Then at Zoolander, we gotta work that hallway like a runway. Then it's reused footage they shot for this season's intro. Then you got everybody in crazy football pads of death, including a bartender for some reason. There's a girl in the middle of this I've never seen on the show, and I have no idea. All of a sudden, we're following small town girl Lacey, who sets her sights on becoming a model, goes to a tie-over show, something that has never happened in the history of this cosmetics line or ever, and I guess by signing up to become a beautytainer, she achieves this dream. But not until after Tyra turns into Mariah J. Blige and dies for our sins. The song changes genres at least 3 times. It should be noted, there's something fantastically unaware about a song preaching about how everyone is beautiful and Tyra sees it inside you, but also you definitely need some help, girl, so buy Tyra's crap. Hey, just curious, if one were to go to a tie-over show to see what this Tyra beauty line is all about, can you explain to me what role the hot man serves? I tell you something, if I'm being sold a product and they've got a guy being paid to sleaze all over you in the corner, I'm running out of there. All I wanted was some oops liner.
And what this big club party represents, it's the biggest Tyra Beauty Fierce Up, which is our national convention where beautytainers come to learn and celebrate each other.
Sign me up! Oh yeah!
Number 9. Tyra Bot. This might be one of my favorite episodes of Top Model ever. Here's the pitch. The model hopefuls for cycle 11 are headed to a film studio, the Top Model Institute of Technology, somewhere in the San Fernando Valley. Present day, they specify for no discernible reason. Should the girls survive the random terrible lightning effects, they will be processed, analyzed, and a select few will make it into the top model house. Once the girls arrive, they're greeted by, you guessed it, the Jays, looking like they've stepped out of No Scrubs of the Damned. Their pants are not the same shade of white, and that bothers me.
Jays come out. They look like mannequins, I swear.
A complete Barbie doll. They're dolls. They look like dolls.
This is, no kidding, Alpha and Beta J. One guess as to who is who.
Alpha J and Beta J.
Alpha and Beta J. Okay.
Welcome to the Top Model Institute of Technology.
So already, things are totally off the rails. We've got cat suits and body scans, goons in lab coats with little booties to, keep the Model Institute sterile? Nonsense lens flares, catwalk connect animations. We are talking Ghost Adventures levels of ridiculous fake science.
Oh my god.
Oh,
You see that?
Yeah. I got it.
It jumped up to the ceiling.
What the hell is it?
Oh, there's a ghost now, bro! I am living for this aesthetic, guys. It's 2000s futuristic meets gay pride parade meets scuba diving chic. Here's where things get good. So the Jays tell the girls, in order to become better models, they must step into the Glaminator 11.0, where they will be assaulted by lens flares. The talking heads entertain the idea that this is a real piece of equipment that somehow has model-shaping powers.
And I was like, they got technology like that?
Are we gonna come back like us? Or are we gonna be transformed into a robot or something? We don't know.
Miss J turns on the Glaminator 11.0, but something goes horribly wrong. A system overload creates a model that is too perfect. Tyra bot. Dun dun dun.
I'm not looking for ANTM as in America's Next Top Martian. I'm looking for America's Next Top what?
Did anyone actually need clarification for that, Tyra bot? Tai? Can you imagine being one of the girls who finds out they're eliminated via stupid Glaminator 11.0 scanner rejection screen? Looks like you're not as bankable as Tyra bot. But seriously, go home.
Beam us up, fiercely.
Whoever decided Top Model needed a special effects heavy episode, thank you, from the bottom of my heart. You'd think this would be the end of it, but no, they keep this ludicrous charade up the entire first half of this two-parter. Through auditions, through the photo shoot, the whole shebang.
Alpha J, Tyra Bot, and myself are gonna all look at these photos you do right now.
It's a stunning adventure in fashion. Alpha and Beta J in matching hot pink shirts? That's style from H to T. Our hosts display an admirable commitment to the premise here. Just look at the enthusiasm.
Are we ready?
Oh yeah.
I'm ready.
I think we figured out the secret to Tyra's eternal youth, though. By the time the episode is over, she's going to download each and every one of these girls into her model hive mind. Fiercely.
Download is complete. Let us beam fiercely.
Number 10, Super Smize. Now, my friends, we start taking a deep dive into ANTM lore, and oh, what a beautiful tangled web it is. So everyone who watches Top Model knows that Tyra's got her own lexicon. You know, the booty tooch, booch, H2T, boom boom booms, no neck monsters, flossom, fiercely real, sinnocent, all that jazz, you know? But even if all that sounds like nonsense to you, most people, even outside of Top Model fandom, are familiar with Smize.
Can I ask you a question? What the hell is schmize?
Smize is smiling with your eyes.
Lord, something's Tyra done did it again.
Smize is like the Top Model word. You hear it and instantly you're asking if you want to be on top? And Tyra loves that. She is determined to continue making Smize a thing. So much so, that's how she decided to end this season of America's Got Talent.
I want to see you on the stage. Keep smizing, Hollywood.
Keep smizing, Hollywood! But what you might not know is that the origin of Smize is completely insane. So for a term that goes so hand in hand with the property, you might be surprised to find out that we didn't get Smize in our lives until 13 cycles in. First, an old classic. Send in an actor to be an asshole to the models in order to teach them a lesson about the real world. No one is producing good enough film for this guy's liking, but perhaps shy, homely Tyra Banks in a really obvious trench coat that doesn't even cover her costume can give it a whirl? Tai can take a licking or two, but when the photographer starts insulting the petite models, because, by the way, this cycle totally changed modeling forever and stood up for the shorties. Holla holla holla, hero. Things have gone too far.
What is this, Munchkin Land?
How dare you? I'm getting angry. I'm getting so angry.
What these girls need is a champion. A fighter for tooches, booches, and the American way. They need Super Smize!
Super smize. Super smize. Super smize.
Super smize.
Super Smize.
Oh, hell no.
This guy is shaking in his booties, but not so afraid he can't tell us all about Super Smize's powers. She can stomp the runway to dust, freeze in any pose, and most importantly, kill people by smiling with her eyes. No, really, he calls it lethal, so she just straight up murders people.
And the most lethal weapon in your arsenal is your ability to
Smize.
This guy is getting fatal doses of Smize, but even then, he is compelled to take Super Smize's picture. Compelled! But that's not the end of it. Oh no! Because after that, the girls are whisked away to Super Smize's Fortress of Fierceness, which looks an awful lot like the Top Model Institute of Technology, where the girls are dressed like they're about to enter Willy Wonka's television room. Super Smize had another thing, but Tyra Banks is happily available to dress them up like ninjas and pit them against each other in Smizel combat. It is sublime. And the rest is history. Smize entered the universe, and a new generation of models learned how to take bomb photos. But should we ever forget, all we have to do is smell our fierce, feel our booms, and Super Smize will be there. Number 11. Pot Leedom. You know I love me some Tyra talk, and everyone, I think, can get behind a silly portmanteau or two. And while Smize and Tooch are pretty ridiculous, they do have practical applications. Don't have dead eyes, give your body some shape, etc. But by far the dumbest and most nonsensical of any of Tyra's made-up words is Pot Leedom. Top model backwards.
If I say to you, Pot Leedom, what does that mean to you?
Top model.
Right off the bat.
You get a gold star, Angelique! And you get one, and you, and you! What purpose does this phrase serve? Absolutely nothing. Tyra's just gone insane by this point. It started out as gobbledygook, and then with further use became excessively degraded Xerox copies of somebody's fat lash. I mean, why? I don't even know why this finale was about a ghost that murdered all the contestants, but I'd be about 50% less confused if they weren't in the Pot Leedom house. Rewind to cycle 17. This is the All-Stars cycle, probably one of their most successful because they don't pretend this has anything to do with modeling. The contestants are asked to make singles and a music video to go along with them. They will be given a beat, and they write out whatever lyrics they want. This is one of my favorite challenges because A, these are 80% not singers, B, these are not songwriters, and C, Top Model has a hilariously off-the-mark idea of what viral means.
And how else can you take your celebrity up a notch than going viral?
Spoiler alert, they definitely didn't go viral. Anywho, they're not given any specifications about what to write, but most of the girls go the route you imagine they would. An upbeat party song. Lisa's is like, whoa! Angelique is hanging in there and fighting tough. Dominique does a pandering song about booty tooching, and Alexandria sings about silly broke hoes? You silly broke hoes! I don't even know, man. But anyway, clearly the intent for the challenge was to come up with fun jams tweens might listen to. And then we get Allison. Poor Allison. She was one of their best contestants, but she was very shy and totally out of her comfort zone. So when she hears about this challenge, she's dying on the inside and out. But somehow, she pushes through her anxiety and writes a song with deeply personal meaning to her about her father who had passed away the previous year. And it's really good, because while she might not be a singer, she is very artistic, so it's really like lovely poetry. And apparently to Alexandria, this is still a jam. And for a moment, there is relief as Allison doesn't realize she's in the calm before the storm. At the studio, the girls find out they must incorporate the hook "Pot Leedom" somewhere into their song, as per Tyra's orders. Once again, Allison turns into an orphan you can feed for 3 cents a day.
I figured out how to work top model backwards and made me a lot more emotional than I ever would be about something else that didn't involve my family.
Despite all odds, she incorporates top model backwards into her song with as much dignity as possible. Like a cat with 9 lives, Allison believes she has once again escaped death's clutches. Then along comes Hurricane Tyra, because not only is Pot Leedom gonna be in the songs, but Drag Tyra and insert YouTube celeb here are gonna be in the music videos.
Pot Leedom! It's top model backwards!
Feeling good about this?
I mean, this is stupid even in the party songs, but it is absolutely cringeworthy to see Super Insensitive and her sidekick dressed in tights dancing like jackasses to the Dead Dad song. I mean, like, Tyra knew this. She knew this is what the song was about, but still insisted on getting into a dumb costume and throwing herself in there. They had multiple opportunities to go in a different direction. All this does is make them look bad, so I suppose it was a blessing in disguise that they had no idea how viral videos work. I definitely did have a good laugh at their expense though, and that's the best we can hope for in this situation. Definitely not Allison approved. Number 12, Model Land. Occasionally these challenges are based off of actual shoots Tyra took part in, because sometimes fashion is an absurd world full of strange and wondrous things, but mostly because Tyra has a healthy love for herself, which is why sometimes it's just an excuse to reference other things she's done.
This photo shoot is inspired by Life Size, the movie.
Oh my god, like that was like my favorite movie.
But by far the most hysterical, roll on the floor laughing instance of this is when she decided to do an entire video shoot all about Model Land.
Model Land.
Model Land is your new home.
To know why this is so priceless, you gotta know about Model Land, and it's pure insanity. So in 2011, Tyra Banks, Jacqueline of all trades, decided she was gonna be an author. Jumping on the young adult gravy train, she proceeded to write the novel Model Land, a bizarre self-insert fanfiction that by all accounts reads like a narcissistic acid trip. And so for the finale of Cycle 17, she decided the girls were going to act out her vanity project in the Model Land fashion film, whatever that is, likely in the hopes someone would pick it up for a movie deal. And we were treated to the craziest bit of Hunger Games nonsense to ever grace the top model screens. By the way, Tyra's also a director. Is there nothing our model overlord can't do?
First of all, you mean best-selling novel? Like New York Times best-selling?
Thank you.
Your check is in the mail, Mr. J. The next cycle is your last. I have not yet had the fortitude to crack open a copy of this book myself, so much like most of the audience at the time, I am very confused by the bits and pieces of story we're presented without context. Tyra explains the scenes, but it still answers precisely none of our questions. Here's what we can gather from this. Model Land is the story of Tyra, Tookie de la Creme, who is invited to the Hogwarts of modeling schools, Model Land. In case you had any doubt that Tookie is Tyra, she just straight up tells us she is.
And Tookie's inspired by me and my teen self.
I'm Tyra.
If she is accepted to Model Land, she will join the Intoxabellas, the hottest of all the top models. All of the girls will be playing different versions of Tookie, except when they're playing someone else, which sounds like a really comprehensible motion editorial. This includes Tookie's mom, who is obsessed with a doll, which apparently is elaborated upon in a chapter titled All Hail Creamy? Please take the time to read the chapter titles, they are completely nutso. Hey, what was the chapter where the bad models are turned into cats? One biatch? Oh, yeah, it says right there, Catwalk Corridor, thanks.
Catwalk Corridor is where all the bad Intoxabellas, otherwise known as supermodels, get sent and they get turned into cats.
In order to get into Model Land, you have to race each other while wearing Mad Max fashion outfits. There's a squish shot of a flag with the cover of the book, a wet t-shirt contest, Mortal Kombat? What? And sprinkled throughout are all of Tyra's interests. Like, for instance, Tookie loves whipped cream because Tyra loves whipped cream, but it goes beyond that. Model Land smells like blood oranges because that's one of Tyra's favorite scents. This isn't just Tyra's Mary Sue character, it's a dimension entirely comprised of whatever's in her ever-smizing mind. This is presented without even a hint of self-awareness. They are entirely serious about this.
Okay, Laura frightened me in the trash to the point that it got really comedic.
Yeah, guys, Tyra's autobiographical tale of joining a modeling Hunger Games boarding school where people are turned into cats is totally not meant to be comedic. The cherry on top of the top model sundae, to me, is that Tyra goes a step beyond having everyone play her and also inserts herself into the mix to portray Tukey, who, again, is her as a teenager, and decides the scene for her is the one where she shares her first kiss with a boy, who is Tyson Beckford, who she has absolutely no chill about and 100% based this whole shoot around as an excuse to make out with him.
So you can just be very sweet to me.
What's up, Tukey?
What's up, Tyson?
But remember, this isn't comedic, guys. But in the end, this isn't a story about Tyra, people. This is a story about everyone. After all, don't each and every one of us have a little Tukey inside?
I'm Tukey. I'm Tukey. I'm Tukey. I'm Tukey. I'm Tukey.
I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus!
Number 13. How dare you! Okay, I know y'all saw this coming. It might be an obvious choice, but sometimes you just don't mess with the classics. The number one Tyra moment is definitely when she completely lost it at Tiffany. You've seen the clip, you've heard the jokes, you know the words. I was rooting for you, we were all rooting for you, how dare you! I think everyone who's even heard of Top Model in passing knows about this iconic moment in Cycle 4 when Tyra screams her lungs out at a contestant. But let me ask you this, do you know the context of why this happened? Even if you watched Top Model, do you even remember what the triggering event was? I'd say most people don't. So let's take a look, because it actually makes the moment even more ludicrously over the top. Let's set the stage. It's time for judging, and the girls are given a challenge. They are to read from a teleprompter as a guest host for the fictional ANTM TV, all while being given hard-to-pronounce names and words meant to deliberately trip them up. The models dutifully make themselves look a fool, but it's all in good fun. That is, until Tiffany has her turn. She's embarrassed and frustrated and initially gives up on the challenge, but Tyra offers some support by noting that everyone else messed up too. And I mean, like, magenta was too hard for them, so she's in good company.
Magenta? Magenta?
As the sad piano music indicates, this is a poignant moment. Tyra finally offers an ultimatum. If she doesn't do the challenge, she goes home. Tiffany does the thing to great applause, but follows it up by mumbling to herself about how humiliating the whole process is.
This is humiliating. More and more each week.
Tyra looks on at her rebellious puppet in anger, an ominous foreshadow of things to come. The audience scoots closer to the screen in anticipation of the big moment. While Tiffany's attitude could be a bit frustrating, this was far from her worst hour.
That stank hoe poured the beer on my weed!
And in my opinion, while it's a bit complainy, I don't really see it as a big deal. However, I have to agree with Tyra's insightful observation. The reason Tiffany gives up so frequently is because she feels she's not good enough and it's easier to quit before she fails. The girls return for elimination and trouble's a brewing. Can you feel it in the air? It's Tyra's world, baby. We're just living in it. Two lovely models stand before Tyra, but only one photo is in her hands. Tiffany needs a little more time to start loving herself, and then she can truly become a great model. And she can love herself at home because she's just been eliminated. Also, so is Rebecca, and it sucks for her because all anyone remembers about this episode is the fact Tiffany got ripped on. And Rebecca was the one who totally fainted in front of the judging panel, and no one even remembers she was here in this scene. Such is the power of the "how dare you" heard round the world.
How many people were scared?
Oh man, did you hear that, guys? Tyra was scared. And how does Tiffany take the news? Extremely well, actually. She lifts her head and accepts her defeat with grace and humor. As she says goodbye to the other contestants, she tells them to stop crying and cracks jokes to break the tension.
Looking all sad.
Oh, girl, you gotta stop. Breaking my back.
This does not sit well with Tyra. She is a volcano ready to blow. She is about to rain down hellfire on this model from H2T. Nobody does whatever she's done to Tyra. Tyra, carefully keeping her cool, calls the girls back over to her. She praises Rebecca for being very emotional right now, because crying means that this was very important to her. Tiffany, however, has not provided suitable tears for Tyra's taste, and she is extremely disappointed in her.
Tiffany, I'm extremely disappointed in you.
This is all a joke! So many people fought so hard for her, and she leaves with dignity and composure? The irony is not lost on me that she is berating the girl she just eliminated for being defeatist because she showed some optimism. As Tiffany explains, she's hurt, but she can't change the outcome of what happened, and she's not going to keep crying about things out of her control. She doesn't have a bad attitude, she's just been through a lot of things. And then, Tyra freaks the hell out.
Be quiet! What is wrong with you? Stop it! I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this. When my mother yells at this, it's because she loves me. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this. You've heard it all before. You don't know where the hell I come from. You have no idea what I've been through. But I'm not a victim. I grow from it and I learn. Take responsibility for yourself.
This tastes so good, it's sinful. Truly decadent. Tyra takes this as a personal slight. She's yelling at her because she loves her, and she doesn't know where she's been. How dare she say she's been through stuff when Tyra has also been through stuff? Stop being a defeatist and weep those sweet, sweet model tears until you're swimming out that door. Humble yourself before the goddess of fierce.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
In the end, the reason Tyra yelled at Tiffany was because of nothing. I mean, really, it was completely blown out of proportion because she didn't think she was crying enough. And that's a way worse look for Tyra than Tiffany. But in Tyra's defense, we all remember it, and it created one of those viral videos the show doesn't quite understand. It was an extreme roller coaster ride of an episode. Through the anger, the laughter, and tears, Tyra knew, even back then, how to provide us beauty entertainment.
Being a top model ain't no picnic.
Thank you, Tyra Banks, for being your favorite person and ours. And I know y'all watch Life Size too, right? May we always have Tyra on our televisions and top model in our hearts. Keep smizing, Hollywood!
You wanna be on top?
Wanna be on top?